So most people tend to be diagnosed with dementia, Alzheimer's dementia specifically. Now, between the ages of 65 and 70, and maybe a little above that. So right here, 65. So diagnosis, well, let's say it's 68. Yeah, 68. Because it usually takes about 3 years of living with the symptoms and seeing them get worse and seeing them get worse, trying to hide them until you can't hide them anymore from your spouse, your family, and your friends. And so finally, you're forced to go to the hospital and, of course, with your family member. And then that's when the diagnosis is given, right? So you're about 68. On average, most happen at the age of 65. But think about this: majority of cases, that the problem that led to you not being able to remember to speak, I just did that just now, to remember, to find words, to find your way around, to be able to calculate your taxes, whatever. That's a process that's been going on behind the scenes for like 10, 20, even 30 years. So all the way back to like when you were in your 40s or less, or below that. Now there are some people who are called early onset dementia who get dementia in their 40s and even some even earlier than that. But for the most part, it's above the age of 65. So your 40s. So it's a process that's been going on for a while. So it's not. And here's the challenge I have when it comes to treatment. You get to you start treating first of all, they've not been too successful, unfortunately, and there's been a lot of billions and billions and billions of dollars being thrown into this research to treat Alzheimer's disease, dementia. We have not had very many successes. The main treatment now is the use of neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters, those chemicals that help with memory, specifically acetylcholine, which is a neurotransmitter associated with memory. If you think about it, you're looking at a brain that has been, over the years, shriveled to half its size. Well, how much use is just one single neurotransmitter going to do in stopping this process? Not very much, and the results show it. I was speaking to a pharmacist the other day, and she's like, almost none of the patients she feels a prescription for ever get better on just Aricept, for instance. Thankfully, they're working on it, but hey, we're not holding our breath in Africa or in Nigeria because we know that even when they come out, it's going to be, first of all, it's going to be hard to get over here. I mean, it's going to be expensive over here. Yeah, with the insurance, that helps out. But Nigeria, I mean, $56,000 a year for the latest drug. Yeah, not going to happen too much. So while we're waiting for the cavalry to come charging in, we have to find out ways that are actually practical and affordable and accessible where we are in Nigeria and other third world countries. So that's what I'm talking about here. So clearly you can see that if you're going to have any effect on stopping this process, you're going to have to do a lot more than just address one neurotransmitter. And we talk about the 7 areas that we address with the Brain and Body Foundation. By the way, the federal government has commissioned and mandated us to address these things, and that's why I'm talking to you about this right now. So even though it's not, shall we say, cutting edge standard treatment, we have been mandated to help out because they've seen that there are not many other solutions to this problem, and we've been getting some good results, by the way. Back to this graph here. So 30 is probably when you're at your best, right? So I tell kids, enjoy your youth while you have it, because after that age, things begin to go south from there, especially when you become 40. So that's when you begin to stumble, your memory falters, you're not as sharp as you used to be. And obviously, there are things that you can do about it. And we talk about these in the laws of life. By the time people who get Alzheimer's disease, it's usually after the age of 65. They falter for a little bit. Finally, they go to the doctor. The doctor diagnoses them with Alzheimer's disease. Between diagnosis and death is about 3 to 11 years. Some say 2 to 9 years. And what you see in the progression is that it's a slow deterioration. It usually starts with memory. Then it eventually starts with not being able to handle tasks, not being able to find your way home, not knowing how to use a fork and knife or a spoon, forgetting to brush your teeth, not forgetting to wear your clothes, or not being able to wear your clothes properly. eventually it shuts you down and shuts you down, so you're not even able to walk, you're not able to speak, you're not able to move a part of your body. Basically, you see the person, and this is one of the most terrible things anybody can experience: watching a spouse or a loved one just gradually die in front of you. With cancer, the person is still, for the most part, until the last few days, still lucid, still awake, still able to function. With dementia, you see years sometimes of them not being able to function as a human being, and that is tragic. So we address it. Go to our website and click on the link below, and you're gonna see all the different aspects that we need to address if we're ever going to have any kind of success where Alzheimer's disease is concerned. So take care.